For many women, the hardest part of working in male dominated industries is not the work itself, it's the constant pressure to prove, tolerate, and stay quiet just to belong. So, today's conversation is all about protecting the mental health without shrinking and learning how to stay, lead, and learn, earn what you are worth without burning out. So, hey, dear listeners, welcome back to another powerful episode of Healthy Mind, Healthy Life. I'm your host, Avik, and today I'm joined by a lovely guest. Please welcome Samantha Kaye Harris. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Look,
Amazing.
yes, yes.
Amazing, amazing. And Samantha, like, I'm really happy that you joined here today. And uh, dear listeners, before we delve deep into our discussion today, I'll quickly love to introduce you with Samantha. So, Samantha is a workforce retention and confidence strategist for women in the trades and other male dominated fields. So, with more than 25 years of experience in the industries like aviation and maintenance, she helps women speak up, lead strong, and stay in careers that they worked hard to get into instead of feeling pushed out. So, today we are talking about how women can protect their mental health while staying, leading, and getting paid what they deserve in environments that were never designed with them in mind. So I'll not take much of your time. Let's get started. Welcome to the show again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Amazing, great. So Samantha, I mean, I'd quickly love to start with you have lived this from the inside, and when you were often the only woman in the room, what did that pressure do you I mean do to you mentally before you learn that how to handle it?
Being the only woman in the room, the first woman, the only woman, one of few most times, it was a pressure that was placed on you because I did not want to fail. I didn't want to be looked at different. I didn't want the labels. So it always left me second guessing. If not second guessing, I would often overprove myself that I belonged. So it was a lot of pressure and a lot of proving of myself.
Hmm, got it. So I mean, obviously that experience resonate with so many women who feel the weight but uh, don't always have the language for it. So on that perspective, I mean, there's a belief that if women are strong enough, they will just tough it out. So where do you think? I mean, what do you think that people misunderstood about resilience in male dominated workplaces?
Okay, resilience to me means continuing to overprove,
Okay.
overshare, showing up more than. And why would a woman always have to be tough to make it? Why can't she go in and just do her job to the best of her ability when a woman walks into a job that she's the first, only one of few, and it's male dominated? And don't mention a woman of color, then the pressure is already on and like all eyes are on you. So could you imagine the pressure it is, the twisting into a pretzel she does, how she's always transforming to be everyone else? And then have to go home and be a good wife or a good mother, or even if she just has to go home and to sit and have to unpack and unload all of these
Mm,
things. I don't believe someone should always have to tough it out, especially a woman overproving themselves.
mm, I agree. I agree. So, how does that mindset quietly harm women's mental health over time?
Over time, women start to, again, what
Mm,
has been labeled imposter syndrome, where they don't doubt, when they doubt themselves, they no longer want to be in those environments. So now they're looking for something else. They're not giving as much. So it tears you down moment by moment. It pulls
Mhm.
pieces of you away from you. So you're anxious more
Mhm.
often than not. You're sad and you're even angry because you're always on 100 because you have to prove yourself.
Mm. Got it. So, like, it reframes that resilience as something that more sustainable than endurance. And uh, when I say that, I mean, let's talk about what's really happening beneath the surface. Like, from your experience, what are the most common patterns that uh, wear women down mentally in these environments?
When when they're down mentally in these environments, they pull away from the group. They don't want to
Okay.
be bothered because they're always going to be second guessed.
Mhm.
So women have already qualified themselves because when we're going to environments where we're the first, only a few, we prepare. But now when we're stepping back and we are having doubt and then we're unhappy, it pulls
Mhm.
away from all of our capabilities. It pulls and it tugs away from what the job is
Mhm.
getting, from what the employer has paid for us to show up. So why give all of that when you have someone speaking over you, interrupting you? You're getting paid less. Now you're
Mhm.
quiet. So you don't get to really show your leadership qualities because you're afraid someone is going to step over you because you have that fear of being disrespected, that fear of someone telling you, "Hey, are you sure?" So it's about
Mhm.
us as women understanding that those are other people's feelings and thoughts and being able to tap into ourselves.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So, how do the things like being interrupted, overlooked, or underpaid compound over the years?
It makes women want to leave. Most women within
Mhm.
3 to 5 years in a male dominated industry leave. If not, if they do not leave, I'm one of the women that have stayed. I've been in my um,
Mhm.
current, not position, but in a male dominated industry. I've been structural maintenance for 25 plus years, to be exact, 28. But you have to always have that mindset going where you're pushing forward, where you don't ever
Mhm.
get to rest. You don't ever get to take a moment for yourself.
Mhm.
And I don't see anyone always having to do that in a male dominated industry except for a woman. We have to
Mhm.
ask for extra safety. We have to ask to be trained. We have to ask. When you look at it, men are automatically trained because they see potential in them.
Mhm.
So that's the difference when it comes to being in these positions as a woman.
Mm. And those small moments add up fast. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not just about one bad day, but it's all about that constant erosion. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's like a scab. Someone's always
yeah.
picking at it. And this isn't a scab that happens to women. This is constant little pricks. Every day they're pricking away at your skin, picking away at your own at your consciousness of wanting awareness of being at a job. They're picking and picking until it's nothing left to even heal. So those little pieces that they take apart, you think about 365 days in a year, and they take a piece of you each and every day. Just a little one, a little scratch, a little scratch. At what point do you ever get to heal? And it's not just in one spot. It's in every area. They'll ask you, why would you want to be in a job where you're the only woman? They question your sexuality. They question your abilities, your capabilities, the value that you actually believe, that you know that you have. They question the fact that, hey, were you just a diversity hire? So and men that have not done the work on themselves that understand that women bring as much value, that's why they were brought in these positions. They make it even harder because everyone in this world has been raised in homes, and
Mhm.
what you learn in your home, you bring with you and you carry with you. And if you've never done the work and you have a home that was the patriarchal system defined for you, and where a woman should and should not be, you automatically bring that and you give that out into the universe, into these work environments. And could you imagine so many men and you're the only woman having that same thought, and maybe one or two, and then the world telling you, hey, look for an ally, look for this.
Mm, correct. 100% correct. Yes. How do you see this mental load affecting the woman's confidence, the performance, or decision making at the work?
It's a It's a confidence disruptor. Women walk in confident. They know when they walk into a job. They know their stuff. They know they're educated. They have all the accolades. They have done all the work because they wanted to be there. These are jobs that they wanted
Mhm.
to be in. So they don't lack the confidence. It's just been disrupted by the sexist, the mindsets of the men that they work with, and rebuilding that confidence and
Mhm.
trusting themselves again is what is going to change and allow them to fully step back into the same woman that walked into the job in the beginning.
Mm, exactly. And what signs tell you a woman is starting to shrink or maybe question herself?
I'm going to say question herself. I like the word
Hmm.
shrink because it just puts everything in a box, but it's so much bigger than that. The signs is when she no longer wants to eat with, she's quiet when jokes are made that are offensive. She does doing too much. She's showing up, giving too much of herself. So that, hey, hopefully one day they'll see me, they'll like me, they'll accept me. When a person starts taking off more days than they normally would have,
Mm,
when she's not smiling, when she's angry, when everything seems to bother her, it's not hormonal. It's the job environment. It's the systems that are in play that are pulling at this woman where she's like very closed off. She ostracizes herself. She's no longer asking for help. She's shrugging her shoulders and saying, if that's what you think, instead of giving her input.
yeah.
These are the things that show up when a woman is starting to pull away and thinking about leaving these jobs.
Hmm. And that's really powerful because shrinking often looks invisible from the outside. And so let's talk about what women can actually do to protect themselves. So, what are some of the practical ways that women can protect their mental health while staying in these industries without feeling like they have to change who they are?
Well, I have built a system. It's called the brag bag system. The brag bag strategy that I use to help these women is to be able to lean within themselves, to reconnect to their
Mhm.
highest self, the person that was confident and brave by building up your brag bag, meaning all your accolades, all your achievements, all your wins, no matter how big or small, so that when these disruptors come in, you no longer look at the words that they're saying because of the thoughts that they're having. You lean into what you know about you and you
Correct.
keep them on a short list. So that's powerful in itself when you can look at what you have and what you have achieved and where you're going
Mm,
and be able to build from there. And also when you're being interrupted or disrespected, it's not something they're imagining. Write it down. Allow yourself to believe that you are correct. Don't shrug
mhm,
off as that's just the guys. Put language to what is happening to you. because that's going to allow them to build that strength, that inner strength to speak up. Like, no, this isn't correct. I do not like this. Let me not re-explain myself. Give me a moment, and then you can
Mm,
speak. This allows them to build themselves up without asking for permission.
mm, exactly. So, I mean, can you explain like how tools like your brag bag strategy help women anchor their confidence and advocate for themselves?
Well, when they use the brag bag and they stand in their truth, they'll be able to stand in their truth. Their truth will allow them to believe in themselves again. They're going to understand who they are and not worry so much of what society says or what their ancestral norms are. This is going to teach them to believe and trust in themselves because that's what
Mm,
happens. You no longer start to trust and believe that anxiety takes over and it's in the forefront. But that brag bag allows you to calm those thoughts down and anchor them in your truth and in facts and not just hearsay because that's what happens. Everything around us seems so much bigger than it is.
mm,
We start believing that everyone else around us within their beliefs are facts because you're surrounded by everyone doubting you. You're questioning your abilities. So your brag bag gives you that moment to step away.
mm,
It allows you to see these tools that I have allows you to see who you are, believe in who you are, and stand in your truth. And when you stand in your truth, you learn to treasure you and you learn to respect you. And that understanding, that's are the things that make you feel safe. You no longer are looking for safety outside of yourself. When you find safety, when women find safety within themselves, they're able to sit up
mm,
straighter. They're able to lean in. They're able to lead a team and ask for the money they deserve. They're no longer looking for someone to see them, point them out, and say, hey, good job. She's worthy. Because from the day a woman is born, she is worthy, but that they will understand that her value is so much more because she understands it.
got it. And I mean, I would say like that grounding matters, especially when pay, promotions, respect are on the line. But even with the tools, doubt can creep back in, right? So when women speak up and still face resistance or I would say the pushback, how do they stay mentally strong without giving up or maybe I'd say burning out?
Burning out, yes. How do they stay? Because they're always going to be able to lean back into. That's the thing. It's once you figure it out, once you understand whose you are, how you show up, it's a difference because challenges are going to come from one side because nothing is perfect and no life is perfect. But when you have the tools in place, you're able to recognize when it's happening again in a different way. So yes, they came and they spoke over me, they talked over me, or hey, so you have broken it down and you understand what happened. Hey, I didn't show up because of these norms and these traditions that I have been accustomed to because of childhood, because of the way I was reared coming up. So now with her brag bag in place, she recognizes it. Now she's able to stand up for herself. And it's going to be tested. That's how your brain works. It tests you in different ways. So this brag bag allows you to say, hey, no, I did this before and it was a different way. So it's not going to take as long to come out of it. It's not going to take as long to speak up. You're going to be able to speak your truth and to
Mm,
stand up for yourself. Where, hey, no, you're qualifying yourself. He's not
mm,
qualifying you. Your immediate supervisor, your team leads are not qualifying you. You're qualifying yourself.
true, true, exactly. So also like what helps women decide whether to stay and lead change or protect themselves by setting farmer boundaries?
What helps them is themselves. Everyone
Okay.
always tells women to look outside of themselves. But doing the work on yourself is the thing that leads you to
Mm,
stay confidently, to stay strong, to stay unapologetic. When we stop
mm,
apologizing for being in jobs that were not built for us in the beginning of time, that's what keeps you there. That's what makes you stronger. That's what allows you to speak up to the rest of the world and say, change is possible, and I am the change. These are the things that keep you in your job because the world could tell you a million times if you're not happy, leave. But you were happy. You went to work, you went to school, you learned to trade, you did all the things that were making you happy and fulfilling.
mm,
Anytime you walk away and you leave, you're doing that because someone has disrupted all of the things that you wanted, that you felt, that you believed in. So trusting that you're doing the right thing for you by speaking up, trusting that they don't know better, meaning the environment that you're in. That's what helps women stay. You stay because you learn to believe that the environment you're in is not in control of you. You're in control of yourself and how we show up as women. We teach people how to treat us. They don't get to define us any longer when we take control, when we stand in our truth, show up unapologetic, standing in our own ethics and morals and values, standing strong in that. That means peeling away everything that the world has said you were supposed to be and being able to stand for you.
got it. And for a woman who is listening, who feels exhausted, underpaid, and uh, invisible at work, what is the one reminder or the mindset shift that could help her reclaim her confidence to speak? What do you say?
Oh, it's funny you asked that question.
Mm,
I just was helping someone work through this, that you're no longer going to walk away from it. You're no longer shrugging your shoulders and saying that's what it's going to be. You deciding that you're going to stay. You're going to stay. You're going to learn to self-validate. You're going to trust that where you are supposed to be. You're going to advocate for yourself out loud. That means loving on yourself. So these are the things I want women to practice every day. And you're not going to hold it to yourself. You're going to find someone that you trust, and that's you. That's the first person you need to trust is yourself. Trust that everything that you're doing is the right thing for you and not lean into what everyone is expecting. So if you're a woman and you're sitting there and you're wondering, am I doing the right thing? How am I going to show up again? How am I going to be myself? How am I going to believe and trust that this is the right thing for me? I want you to stop. I want you to stop what you're doing right now and just take a deep
mm,
breath and allow yourself to breathe. And once you breathe, then I want you to remind yourself of who you are. That's going to allow them to stay and do the work on themselves.
exactly. Wow. And any suggestions you want to give to the listeners today?
Um, the suggestion that I have for anyone is to just trust yourself. Trust that everything is not happening to harm you. It is to elevate you. When we take away that this is going to hurt me, break me, not allow me to step up and be me,
Mm,
then we start to own that instead of what it is. I'm learning from here. What am I getting from this that's going to help elevate me? Let's change the way we're thinking about it. And not that things are not happening. I don't want anyone to think that I don't believe it's not happening, but it's how we reframe it so that we can get to the next level, so that we can walk in and say, hey, maybe I need a coach to get me through this. Or, hey, maybe I need a counselor. or hey, maybe I just need to take a step back. That's
Mhm.
what I would suggest and recommend to anyone.
Amazing. Amazing. So, dear listeners, before we move, I'd love to just to summarize and with the takeaway that women don't need to leave or shrink to protect their mental health, but they need tools, support, and the permission to take up the space. So, with this hope, dear listeners, Samantha, like, where can our listeners find you?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram and on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn, I am Samantha Kaye Harris. On Instagram, I am Samantha Kaye. It's spelled out Kaye official. And my website is www.theskHsolutions.com.
Amazing. Amazing. So, dear listeners, what I'll do is I'll put all the links into the show notes for your easy reference. And with this hope, if this episode has resonated, please remember this that you earned your seat. Your voice matters, and protecting your mental health is not a weakness, it's a leadership. So, with this hope, this is your host, Avik. This is Healthy Man, Healthy Life. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.